initiatives with your departments. They may be starting to have those conversations and haven't included you, and I would offer that so you can talk about the realities of this transition. So I wanted to advocate for that session. I wanted to answer other questions. I want to be sensitive to time. So how can I help y'all? What other questions do y'all have? Yes?
Is there a short answer to why the SFC Bank is closed?
Yes. Basically, we cannot keep up with the technology. Quick answer is, we have, and apologize if you've heard this before, but we have one bank account with Frost Bank that has all of this large sum of money that belongs to student organizations in it. Frost Bank thinks that that's one account and there's tens of thousands of transactions. We in Student Activities and Leadership Development make sense of what where those transactions belong. And having a system that we call 4D, it's a computer system. Where are my computer scientists? We created a system that basically makes sense of it in a software. But we cannot keep pace. Frost Bank is always going to think it's one account. So we cannot have bank cards, we cannot do online banking. Y'all are doing checks. How many people have a checking account that actually write a check? How many checks do you write? Probably not that much. We are in a place where we cannot keep pace with the technology. And it's just been something that over and over in audit report after audit report, we are struggling to maintain what students want out of a bank. And we've just come to a place where maybe we shouldn't be in the banking business. And so but I can tell you, this is something I've been tackling since March 19, 2007, literally the first week I was trying to detangle this bank. And it is a complex organization and one that we have spent a lot of time trying to figure out, where do we belong here? And the question I had is, should we still be in the banking business in 2015? And those are things that we as organizational leaders have to ask, those strategic planning questions. So that's kind of the relatively short answer. Any other things? I want to be sensitive to time.
In case that we're not able to attend either one, and no one has to stay on the 22nd from 5 to 6, is there a way we can learn more about 41 accounts?
We're gonna do one more session, but if not, you can talk to your advisor about calling. Our contact in accounting is a woman named Amy Bernard, and I would ask that your advisors or your financial advisors connect with her. Because some of this stuff is frankly going to be over our heads. Whether 41 account, 19 account, 29 account, or 30 account makes sense, we're in the land of Mary Beth does not know. So, but a lot of people do. But you got to get the right people talking to each other. Other questions? And of course, you can make appointments with us. I think y'all will have to, you still have good practices and you're very planned, very organized. I've been working with y'all for 12 years now. You are just going to have to change a little bit of the way you proceed, but the structure itself, you still are a structured organization that are accountable with your money. It's just going to be a little bit of differentness and you're going to have to figure that out, but you have a slew of people who are supporting you. You are not alone. And every one of y'all in the Senate President seats are transitioning, so you should be talking to each other. What does this mean? What are you doing? If you're not doing this, here's your time to do it, and this may bring Senate even closer to you. Other questions? All right, thanks, y'all. I'm sorry about that.
Financial directors, I know this is a concern for you, so I promise Senate will continue to keep you all in the loop and figure out what we can do. Okay, next up we have council announcements with Ms. Carl Thompson and Lib Arts, Hank Doobie.
Everybody, my name is Hank Doobie. I'm the program director for the Lib Arts Council. First off, I want to say Mary Beth is amazing, so if you don't know her, get to know her. She really does fight for students, and I think you'll like her. She's hilarious. Secondly, the real reason I'm up here is because next week we have Lib Arts Week themed Back to the Future. We're going to be doing events that are talking about kind of the past of the college, where we are today, and where we're going in the future. I'm doing this by memory, but I'm going to tell you all the events we're doing, so if any of them interest you, please write them down. We have Monday at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're bringing 200 kids from KIPP Intermediate School to kind of take a tour of campus, learn some of the historical facts about our statues and our buildings, stuff like that. That's from our Campus and Community Focus Committee. On Tuesday, we have our building showcase, the new Lib Arts building that's getting built in the next few years. We're going to talk about that at 6 p.m. in the Texas Alumni Center. On Wednesday, 5:30, we're doing an innovative teaching forum, which is kind of like where the future of higher education is going. We're bringing in 3 teachers, one of which has a grant to research new ways of teaching or new ways of grading. And this applies to people of all different colleges, so please pass it on to your councils. It will be very helpful for them in the future. On Thursday, okay, I don't know what we're doing Thursday. Friday, yes, that's what it is. Thursday, we're having a history department at 4 p.m. in Gebauer. We're bringing people to talk about kind of the history, a little bit of the conflict that's happened in the college departments. Should be some interesting facts. And then on Friday, we are having a dodgeball game between alumni, faculty, staff, and freshman students in the college, so it'll be fun. Y'all can come and watch, cheer on the students who go want to. So we're going to have a busy week. Thank you for listening to me. If any of those interest you, please come out. We'd love to see you all there.
Okay, do we have any more council announcements? All right, moving on to regular guests. We have Manny Gonzalez, the president of the Graduate Student Assembly.
Thank you. And before I start, Feliz 16 de Septiembre. I don't know if we have any people who identify as Mexican American, but for those of you who are unaware of this holiday, or this day in particular, it's Mexican Independence Day. And I've had to educate a couple of my students that I work with that Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day. And so that's just clarification, nothing else. But if you're going to celebrate tonight, celebrate responsibly, as always. I get a lot of laughs here. I'm funny.
You're funny.
I know. Appreciate it. Anyways, what I'm here for is not comedy hour. What we did this past week, we had our GSA meeting yesterday. We actually passed our legislation on CTVAC, and it passed unanimously. And so we're now moving onwards, and I believe it looks very similar to what you all will be voting on later today. And so just keep that in mind. The other things that we're working on is that we're creating a committee to help benchmark and view some of the issues or address the domestic partner benefits topic here on campus. Of course, this was an item that we brought up last year. Kind of lost momentum on it. We're picking it back up again. And we also had our first meeting for our diversity symposium that we're creating for the spring, in which we're addressing some of the needs and issues of underrepresented graduate students across campus. And so we have a SG representative on there. I'm going to be working with Chelsea to see if there's somebody within Senate who's interested in getting involved and getting undergraduates involved in this symposium, because we're realizing that it's also an issue that undergraduates face, that we're trying to create a pipeline here where underrepresented undergraduate students can have access to graduate education. And so if you're interested in learning about how to get involved with that project, I'm sure you can contact Chelsea and she'll forward your information to me. Those are the big items. And we're also planning our Day on the Hill type planning session with at the state level with other universities, Tech, A&M, and then the UT system schools, because UT has more resources than these other schools and the ability to have a stronger voice, and so we want to make sure it's a unified voice amongst all these universities. And so that's what we've been working on. Yeah, that's it. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thanks, Andy. Okay, next up from student government, we have Darren,
A Senate alone.
welcome back.
Thank you very much. As Chelsea said, I'm Darren, and I'm Communications Director for SG. and I just wanted to give y'all an update on what SG has been working on. 2 meetings ago, the mayor of Austin, Mayor Lee Leffingwell, came to the meeting and he spoke to all of us. And we also launched the Mayor's Student Advisory Council, or MSAC, and it is a student government initiative to increase student representation in city government. So basically, these students that have been selected to serve on MSAC are going to be meeting with Mayor Leffingwell periodically to discuss issues that are important to students. And this past meeting, we passed a resolution in support of the DREAM Act to provide resources to undocumented students at UT. And also, on this past Sunday, we had a kickoff block walk for Hook the Vote, which is a bipartisan effort to register students to vote and make sure that everybody gets out to vote the elections that are coming up this year. And we distributed 15,000 voter registration cards in West Campus, and we had 70+ people from all over campus, from UDEMs, from College Republicans, from student government, ULI, even from Sierra Club, so it's a great turnout. And then Scott, Minize, and Jimmy have been working with Chelsea to start planning for the legislative sessions coming up. And this week, or this upcoming week for SG, the legislation that we're going to be talking about is pertaining to West Campus parking meter proposals. And if you would like to vote in an online poll, we actually have on the SG Facebook page, there is a poll that you can access through there and voice your opinion on how you feel about West Campus parking meters. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Erin. Do you have anyone from UT Library System? Okay, then next up I'm going to invite Mindy Sutton up. She's our advisor, she's wonderful, and she's just going to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, as Chelsea said, my name is Mindy Sutton and I serve as the Deputy Advisor for the Senate of College Councils out of the Dean of Students office. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to your first meeting a couple of weeks ago because I was out of town, so this is my first Senate meeting of this academic year, but I'm really glad to see all of you here, and I just wanted to take this opportunity for you to put a name with a face if we have not met before. My office is actually up in the Senate and SG office. I'm kind of over in the corner. You may see me there sometimes, but feel free to stop by if you have a question or you need anything or I can help in any way. And one thing I did want to mention, just in light of Mary Beth's announcements a little bit earlier, if it's any sort of consolation or helps you to put your anxiety at ease a little bit about the bank closing, the Senate of College Councils has actually not had an off-campus account or not had a student organization bank account in over a year now. And I think that they're still able to conduct business and do the things that they want to do. So if you have anxiety, if your advisors have anxiety about closing your student organization bank account, please feel free to talk to me. Please feel free to talk to Veronica Cantu, who also works in the Senate office, because we're very accustomed to working with student groups and helping them to accomplish the things they want to using university funds, university accounts to do so. So it can definitely be done. I just want to offer that as well. But if you need anything, please let me know. And thanks for having me.
Thanks, Mindy. Okay, moving on to executive reports. Just wanted to give y'all a quick update. Last Friday, Scott Parks and I went to the 1883 Council, which is kind of like a young alumni association to talk about student giving. This is really important. Presidents next week, we're going to talk a lot about this because I met with the development office today, and they really see councils as being the leaders on this. And I know Carl has already been working on that. So basically, if you're already fundraising in your college, social work, I know last year we raised like $2,000 for a lounge. I know a lot of us already do fundraising efforts. There's now a matching fund that's going to come from the 1883 Council. So if we start documenting it the right way, basically online, they will match the dollars that we're already raising for our college and school to go to UT. So it's a pretty sweet deal, and presidents will be hearing more about that next week. Also, just want to put this on your radar. The University Lecture Series will be on October 5th. This year the theme is, it's a life raft style debate. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically like, well, look it up, I don't know, but it's a debate. It's about how do you change the world. So we have 5 professors from 5 different disciplines debating on stage saying whose discipline changes the world the most. So we have David Laudy,